very good evening, and we are indeed very delighted to have with us a very veteran in the field of mass communication and public relations, Mr. Vishwajit Motilal. He is a noted media academic and a reputed PR professional in the profession of communication over the last 5 decades. He started his career in the Statesman, and then his journalistic endeavors continued till he got into corporate, and there too his role, of course, was in mass communication and PR. Mr. Vishwajit Motilal is the former president and general secretary of the Calcutta Journalists Club, and now a member of the West Bengal Heritage Commission. Apart from his association with Vishwabharati's Department of Mass Communication and Journalists, he has also been associated as a reputed visiting faculty with St. Xavier's University, Jadavpur University, amongst others, and Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, of course. Sir, it is indeed a pleasure to have you in this series that we initiated in this COVID era, and we have already spoken to a couple of academics, and we endeavor to continue with your blessings. Since you are a veteran in this area of mass communication and PR, I would like to start with a specific question in this area. Can you share your views as to how this segment has responded to COVID-19 as far as education is concerned?
It's a very good question, Rajiv. Welcome. And I also thank you for inviting me to participate in your unique initiative. Actually, the COVID-18, rather post-COVID-18 scenario has been thrust upon us, and we were not prepared for this. But resilience is the name of the game. So what has been done? A new concept has come, that is WFH. You all know that, work from home.
Correct.
We are not allowing our work to suffer. Yes, there is compromise of various kinds, but the basic deliverance has not been altered. No files are being allowed to gather dust. No project has been allowed to go astray, and we are very much into the in of things through our WFH, that is work from home concept. And I must mention that the higher managements of major companies, almost all companies, and definitely ours, number one, they are greatly concerned about the well-being and security of all the workmen, top to bottom, number one. And standard operating procedures, that is SOPs have been developed for our corporate office, our principal and registered office, as well as all our factories. I may share that I am working with Birla Corporation Limited, which is the company is the flagship company of the MP Birla Group. MP Birla Group is a major group, and it has a significant presence in cement, cable, and jute goods industries, as well as in education and healthcare. Now, Birla Corporation Limited is considered a cement major. We have 10 cement plants in 7 locations across the country. Some other cement plants, particularly one at Mukutban in Maharashtra, they are in an advanced stage of construction, and everywhere we are active, maybe in a limited way, taking care of the health aspects, taking care of the security aspects of all our workmen. And I can say, while I can say definitely about our organization, but as I know and I can understand, as I can see, all the major organizations are slowly coming back to the mainstream, working with utmost concern for the employees' welfare. I know of a major company where the workman above 60 or 55, above 55 or 60, has been forbidden to come to office. They have all been asked to work from home, and those who are coming to office have to justify the necessity of their presence. In our company, we have a very active and alert and efficient HR department. So the advisory from the HR department very clearly states that whoever comes to office in whichever department must get in touch with the head of the department, and the HOD must justify his presence, and our company has arranged for pick up and drop facilities for all of the employees in our corporate office, in our principal office, so that they are not exposed to any external infection kind of a scenario. All the offices, including ours, are being sanitized frequently and regularly. There are sanitization tunnels where we get in. And I was so happy, I had been to my bank the other day. I can name the bank, and I found that they are also very careful about sanitization of the work area, about the use of masks, and every bank's customer, everyone, while getting in, his temperature is being checked, and then he is given sanitizer to rub the hands off, and then the work starts. And the bank counters, apart from the glass partitions in the counters, there is another row of chairs as some kind of a wall, so that there is a reasonable distance between the employee and the consumer. And I could get my work done fast and could come out and come home. Now, I must say that India, Bengal, Kolkata for that matter, we have testified to a resilient mindset, a resilient attitude, and we are trying to prove that if we can utilize, if we can refer to a very popular song, that we shall overcome.
Absolutely.
Hum honge kamyab.
Absolutely.
So we can go to the next question, Rajiv.
Yeah, I just wanted to, on the basis of what you just shared, sir, and that is, you have very rightly pointed out, and particularly from the perspective of your esteemed organization, how you have responded to COVID-19 and how within these challenging times you have tried to leverage whatever is worth it. My question was regarding the education sector, which you are associated with. Uh, how has the mass communication departments, uh, the different institutes which are offering such courses, how has their response been? Have they managed? Obviously, we are not expecting the kind of maturity that we would expect from a corporate house. But nevertheless, what is your experience there? How have they been able to deal with the situation?
A very pertinent question. But before I go to some mass communication institutes with which I am associated, I shall refer to our very own South Point group of schools. It is an education, South Point School is an important name in school education. As you may be aware, South Point was included in the Guinness Book of World Records
Correct.
in the early 90s as the biggest school in the world. At the moment, we have nearly 13,000 students and matching teaching, non-teaching staff and other facilities. Now, South Point organizes its annual prize distribution ceremony where the achievers are recognized and publicly felicitated, plus certain other scholarships are given. And the event takes place every year. The fixed date is 4th July. This way, we commemorate the birthday of the founder and architect of our group, Srijukta MP Birla. Now, this year rather, it was a different situation. So what we did our prize distribution ceremony online. And believe me, it was an impeccable, so to say, initiative. Amish Tripathi, the eminent author, and who is also now the director of the India Center in London, he agreed to be the chief guest online, and he did come online and address the students. Our MP Birla Group Chairman, Sri Harshvardhan Lodha, addressed the students. And the most interesting thing is, the students presented cultural shows, beautiful cultural shows. They were all recorded individually at their homes, at the security and comfort of their homes. And then these were edited centrally, amalgamated, and a seamless presentation was made. And believe me, there were nearly 24,000 respondents who could see and who did see the program in the Facebooks of the schools. And also there was Zoom arrangement for the participants. And one interesting factor I will tell you, apart from the school performers from classes nursery to class 12, we have one beautiful award that is known as the Priyambada Birla Brave Hearts Award. Every year we identify one student who fights against physical odds, and we give him scholarship or give the child, him or her, scholarship, and we felicitate the student publicly. This year, a student of class 8 who is suffering from almost an incurable disease, he was there online. We could present him. His, I would say once again, the word resilience was highlighted. His perseverance, his intensity, His interest in studies were highlighted, and also we gave awards to achievers at different levels. And one unique thing is we also felicitate the first boy who had come first in high secondary exam and Madhyamik. They may not be from our school. They need not necessarily be from our school only. Whoever comes first in Uच्च Madhyamik or Madhyamik, we invite them and felicitate them with financial support and certificates. Now this event we organized online and which was a great success. I understand certain other schools, important schools, they also may not be there, they are as big as South Point, but their own way, they also did their online prize distribution ceremonies. And apart from prizes, online classes are being held regularly. In South Point, there is a rigorous routine of online classes involving children from nursery or class 1 to class 12. Subject teachers are coming, lessons are being given. In fact, we had sent the new textbooks post the promotion to higher classes. We have couriered the sets of books to the individual students' residences so that the studies do not suffer. Classes are held very seriously from Monday to Saturday, and lessons, tasks are given, attendance is marked. Our respected teachers have rose to the occasion. They have come forward, and we could very successfully hold online classes. And I understand, I learn, I am aware of many schools and most of the schools, even private small category schools. I know of a schools in South Kolkata near Hajra Road. That school also is holding online classes for their children, for the students, and there is a regular monitoring of their performance, regular monitoring of the classes, regular monitoring of the lessons being given to the students. So I can say a small or middle level school to a big school like ours, the education sector at the school level has risen to the occasion so that education does not suffer. Now I come to the mass communication institutes with which I am associated. I can mention the name of St. Xavier's College. We are holding online classes for the students. The routine is given beforehand. The students are brought in and we hold the classes through Google Meet, and the students are encouraged to interact with the teacher. When I teach, when I take the classes, I prod my students. Pucho, ask questions. Can you follow me? Sometimes I ask a small question, a short question, just to measure whether they are paying attention and they are taking notes. Also, there is a very good college in Rajarhat, that is the Dirogio Memorial College.
Right.
That college is also organizing online classes for their mass communication students. And the best thing is, Rajiv, the students in both St. Xavier's College, which is an upscale college in the heart of the city, and Dirogio Memorial College, which is in Rajarhat, and which has students from far off areas of South 24 Parganas. The best thing, Rajiv, is the students are so enthusiastic and so sincere. I am having great faith in our student community, great expectations from them. I never expected that the students will be so responsive and so serious about the classes, about their studies, about their syllabus, etc. Only this morning, the students of Heritage College, Mass Communication Department, they interviewed me for their own site and their own Facebook presence.
Okay.
And there, among the questions they asked, is, sir, how could we prepare ourselves for a career in mass communication other than studying mass comm in our classes? What is the extra push? What is the extra work we should take to make ourselves service worthy, profession worthy? I was so happy. And once again, I realized that yes, the corona threat is very real, very dangerous, and very threatening. But it will not be able to suppress the enthusiasm of our student community, our educators, our corporate bosses. We shall all move forward, albeit in a restricted and controlled way.
Right.
But we are not going to stop. We are not going to lie down. We are not going to be defeated.
Right.
This confidence that I can express.
Right.
Your
So
next
that was,
question, please.
yeah, sir, a very, that's a very silver lining, what you mentioned about the enthusiasm that we are seeing in the students. And I think perhaps one of the reasons why that has happened is the millennials or the younger people, they are very tech savvy. And naturally, this new mode of education, which is leveraging technology tools, has definitely given them a lot of, enthusiasm and additional,
You have used a very beautiful word that our young generation is tech savvy. Let me tell you that before the corona outbreak, I could see our students in different colleges and universities. Almost all of them had smartphones. And I used to feel that the smartphones are them, number one, as a fashion, as a fad, and also to waste their time by TikToking and WhatsApping,
PUBG.
etc. But now I realized they know how to use their smartphone facility for advancement of learning. That has given me greater confidence in our young citizens who are the leaders of tomorrow. Almost every student are handling their smart sets during the classes the right way. They know how to use the Zoom facility, the Zoom app rather.
Right.
They know how to utilize their Google Meet facility.
Right.
And they know when to unmute the mic, when to mute the mic. If they don't see me, they will tell me, sir, we can't see you. Please, you can please switch on your video facility or switch on your or unmute the mic. We can't hear you properly.
Right.
If they miss my lecture, some parts of my lecture, they will stop me and request me to repeat, and I am only too glad to repeat.
Right.
So that way, what you very rightly said, our young generation's tech savviness is now giving us a very positive fallout.
Right. So now that is from the educated point of view, the student point of view. Uh, what is your opinion as an educator? There are a couple of school of thoughts in this regard. One which feels that this online education, e-learning that we are going through, this can at best be some sort of a complement. It can never be a substitute to offline education. However, there's another school of thought. I was speaking to Professor Yvonne Ghosh the other day, and he was actually of the opinion that this experience, the online experience, can actually, exceed the experience of an offline education exposure. So what is your take, given this experience that you have had during these
It's a
last?
very intelligent question. It's a very, very intelligent question. Let me try to answer. Now, online education is definitely not a substitute for offline education. It is definitely not a substitute for chalk and talk in the class, for practical presentations in the class, etc. And we can hopefully say that number one, the online education is not a permanent affair, number one. And at the same time, I must mention that the relevance, usefulness of online studies or online events cannot be denied. Yesterday, I go back to the cultural and prize distribution ceremony of South Point. Usually, we hold the event at the Science City Auditorium, where 3 to 3,500 people can be accommodated. But yesterday, we have records, 24,000 people could see, could participate, could come with their comments, could give their reactions to the show from beginning to end. Number one. Number two, sometimes I go to the class, there is heavy rain, and the number of students in the class, there is mass absenteeism. Sometimes in a college where the students come from far-flung areas, a student will come rather late. The class starts at 11:30 and he will be there at 12:15. And the college authorities tells me that if you want, you can allow the student in. Otherwise, you need not allow him to come in. I allow them in always because I feel and I believe no student worth his name will deliberately delay in coming to the college. So I asked him or her, what was your problem? Why are you late? And the boy said, sir, there was no bus in my area. I understand there is a partial transport strike in our area for some reason. But somehow after waiting for some time, I could get a minibus and I could rush because I did not want to stay away from my class. Now we are evading these kinds of practical problems in the online scenario. Students are participating from the comfort of their homes, and they can devote their total attention to what is being taught. Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan has communication courses. It's a very important and popular institution. The courses are also very popular. The other day, I did not know, while taking online class, I asked one student that I can't hear your voice properly. Where are you speaking from? She said, sir, I stay in Malda.
Okay.
And from Malda, I am participating in the class. That is why, sir, there may be some minor net problem, but I can hear you very well and properly, sir. You please continue. I was so happy that even students from far areas like Malda in North Bengal, they can participate from their home comfort, take down notes and prepare themselves for exams or anything as such. So that way, the tech savviness of our students and also of our institutes. Let me share another thing. Different schools and colleges, including the schools our MP Birla group runs. We also run another school, MP Birla Foundation Higher Secondary School at Behala. It is an ICSE
Right.
school,
Right.
a very noted and famous institution. And we are holding intra-school competitions also. Inter-school and intra-school competitions also online.
Right.
And there is no lack of enthusiasm among the participants. And let me also share that the sections of guardians are also happy and comfortable that the child is in the safe custody and at the same time he or she can participate in the academic proceedings of the institution or the co-curricular proceedings of the institution.
Correct.
Yes, this is no permanent solution, but what I feel, the online method, the online process is here to stay, though not as the only method, though not as the sole method, but it may be one of the methods to stay so that the institutes can deliver to the students and the students also can pick up the threads from the teachers, from the institutions, and the guardians are also there. They are also comfortable because sometimes we see, particularly at the school level, guardians are also participating in the classes. Whether they should do that is a different question. We are not going into that. Sometimes in a school I heard, not in our school definitely, in one of the schools I am aware of, I heard, the guardians also sometimes participate and put in questions when the classes are on. Maybe they will be learning what not to do and what to do. But definitely, this is one of the alternatives, one of the routes to continue with our regular studies. In Bangla, there is a word called Pathon Pathon.
Right.
পঠন পাঠন যাতে ব্যাহত না হয় সেটা ছোট প্রাইভেট স্কুলও হতে পারে, সরকারি স্কুলও হতে পারে বা বড় স্কুল নাম করা স্কুলও হতে পারে। এমনকি একটি ছোট স্কুল আমার মধ্য কলকাতায়, সেখানেও টিচাররা স্টার্টিং ফ্রম দ্য প্রিন্সিপাল রেগুলার স্টুডেন্টদেরকে হোম টাস্ক দিচ্ছেন, অডিও ক্লিপ করে হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ করছেন, ট্র্যাক করছেন যে অডিও ক্লিপ তারা শুনছে কিনা, এবং তাদেরকে বলছেন তোমরা অঙ্ক কষো, এইভাবে অঙ্ক আমি বলে দিলাম, সেটা দেখে নাও, অঙ্ক কষো এবং অঙ্ক কষে তোমরা ছবি তুলে আমাদের পাঠাও এবং সমস্ত খাতা গুছিয়ে রাখো, যেদিন স্কুল খুলবে আমরা কিন্তু সেদিন সমস্ত দেখব। অর্থাৎ there is no negligence. I am happy to highlight that there is no let up in the initiative at any level of education in our state, in our city. I can speak of my state and my city only. in our state and our city, there is no let up in the study scenario at all levels. An upscale college like St. Xavier's College or even St. Xavier's University. St. Xavier's University is also taking regular online courses, online classes. A major and big school like South Point is doing that, and I elaborated in details to you.
Right.
And also minor schools, small scale schools, government schools, government supported schools, and private schools. No school is sitting idle. No school is sleeping. Every institution has rose to the occasion. And I'm so happy as an educator on the sidelines to see all this.
Right, sir. Right.
Next question, please.
Yeah. So one final question, and this is a question which is of concern to all our students and to their parents as well. And that is the question of employment opportunities. There have been huge layoffs, and it's very saddening. And you've been in the media sector also for an extended period of time. We often notice that whenever there is some problem, the first sector which somehow gets affected in terms of employment is the media sector. So this time also there has been no exception. There have been huge layoffs already, and students in mass communication, public relations are naturally very, concerned as to where lies their future. So I would like you to reassure them and give us some guidelines as to how they can cope with the situation, what the reality is, and how our young men and women can continue to make a mark, COVID or no COVID.
This is also a very relevant question. First, let me tell you that there was a time when media was a mission. It is no longer.
True.
Now media have become a big business. Running a newspaper, running a TV channel is not a mean initiative, not a small play. It needs lots of organization, lots of capital, lots of manpower, etc. So that way, media business is like any business which is controlled by the profit and loss mechanism. Now, there is some blockage, some cut down in the flow of advertisements. The advertisement revenue for particularly the print media has dwindled to some extent, but advertisements are coming because there is no alternative to a media advertisement. There is no, in fact, only yesterday, I could see the first page of Times of India. The first page was totally devoted to an advertisement, which we call the jacket page. It is a tribute advertisement to a noted industrialist of the country who had expired. I think he expired last year. There is a tribute to him, a full page advertisement. Rajiv, tell me, is there an alternative to this exercise?
Absolutely not. Yes.
Suppose they say we won't go to the paper. Where will they go? Social media is no alternative to a print media.
Neither a billboard in this case.
Neither a billboard an alternative to the print media. Therefore, print media is also getting up. Let me give you an example. Times of India gives Kolkata Times, Calcutta Times. And Calcutta Times carries interesting items, offbeat items,
Right.
health tips, beauty tips, etc. And we could see the Calcutta Times was coming as part of the main paper and not as a pull-out as it used to be. But I was pleasantly surprised yesterday. Calcutta Times was given as a separate 4-page pull-out, and in that pull-out, the back page had a full-page advertisement.
Right.
I was so happy that it not only brought revenue, but also instead of a 2-page editorial matter, the readers got a 3-page editorial matter. Then the question comes, why the shedding of manpower? Why almost all media houses? Now there are some media houses which are slashing the pay, but I know from definite sources that at least 2 media houses in Kolkata, they have requested their staffers to accept a small pay cut with the promise that these will be paid back sooner than later. Number one. But nevertheless, some media houses, they felt that there was flab and they should shed the flab. I'm not going to justify anything. I'm not in a position and I have no right to justify or criticize the media houses which are shedding the manpower, shedding the flab for that matter. I have no right to comment on that, and I'm not fit to comment on that. But one thing I would say, when the times are good, when it is good going, quite often, as an individual also, we spend money which we need not have spent. Sometimes an organization will recruit people, maybe recruit 5 people, where the job could be done by 3 people.
Right.
So now when the hard times have come, but please, I'm not justifying anything. I'm just trying to rationalize things my own way. I may be wrong and I would like to be corrected. Now, when the things are going hard, the managements of the media houses or the managements of other companies concerned may think of shedding the flab so that the organization can run properly and the majority's earning, majority's life is not at stake. So that way, if a company says that I have 100 staff, I am dropping 25 of them so that the jobs and the future of the 75 others can be saved and the company can be saved from drowning. Willy-nilly, we have to accept. We have no other alternative. But I am hopeful that this is a temporary phase. Already, as we can see, things are coming back to normal. Yes, the corona threat is very much there, and a section of our population are behaving irresponsibly.
Right.
Yes, but at the same time, I feel that the threat will pass over, the right kind of medicines will come, the right kind of immunity will come, and we shall go back. We shall be able to come back to our normal life where we can begin our day by our morning walk, and where at the night we can go to bed very tired because I had to work the entire day in my office, the hard work which I usually used to give.
Right, sir. It, it was really a pleasure interacting with you in this conversation. And thank you for your wonderful insights, because we don't see too many veterans who have, the right kind of exposure both in industry, media, and in education. So you are in that way a very unique resource, and we will, continue to cherish this relationship that we've had with you over the years. And thank you so much once again for your time. And I'm sure this will be of great value to, particularly to our younger people uh, in mass communication as well as in other sectors.
One last point I want to mention, Rajiv,
Right, sir.
that there is no alternative to communication. Communication has to be there, online or offline, intrapersonal or interpersonal, group communication or mass communication. Communication has to be there. Man cannot live like an island.
Absolutely.
We need to communicate, and the communication tools, the media, different varieties of the media will be there. And also, don't you see, I can give you another example. On a personal note, in our company, we have, in the cement division, we have come out with a novel scheme. We have given it the title Construction Ka Second Innings.
Right.
Second innings. Why second innings? The game is not over. Our marketing department, our consumer support service department, our sales team, we are letting the individual home builder, we are targeting our individual home builders in the country know that there is one section of individual home builders who had to stop the building of their homes midway because of the lockdown. There are also others who could not start the building of their homes despite buying their plot, resourcing money, getting the plan sanctioned. They could not start. So we have come to them and we are reaching them through social media and print media and as well as electronic media that we are here for you. This is our helpline number. This is our contact details. Because all our 10 cement plants have started production, quality production, there is no compromise with quality. And we have started dispatch, started supply. So we are requesting the individual home builder that yes, the second innings has to be played. The first innings is just over. We are here to help you out with our know-how. Our engineers will be there. When there is dhalai of your chart, you would just let us know. Our civil engineers team will be there to oversee and help you out, to support and help the masons. So you need not lose hope. Please go ahead. Of course, maintaining the health rules, the safe distance norms, etc. So I must say, there is no room for pessimism.
Right.
We should not be unduly optimistic. We should be practical. But Rajiv, I want to end by saying that there is definitely light at the end of the tunnel, and we can see the light if we
Right.
raise our heads.
Right. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. And I'm
Thank you very
sure,
much for your initiative. Thank you very much for your initiative.
right.
And I must express my gratitude for inviting me to be a part of your scheme.
It is our pleasure,
Thank
sir.
you.
We are on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.